So I'm pretty proud of the way that our podcast has gone recently. I've picked a couple of really good movies. I ran into Nick and Tristan Go Megadega last time, which was a really good comedy. And this time I found an experimental art film. I Because I personally have never seen a movie before that decided to animate in MS Paint.
I'm so fucking mad at you right now. You have no idea how fucking mad I am.
Welcome to Rough Cuts, our podcast about good boys and bad movies, where we talk about bad dog movies.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
This is Wurtley's mom. My Wurtley is sick and won't be at school today.
Cancel my appointment. I'm heading to the race.
I sure hope we don't accidentally bite the same piece of spaghetti. Chuck, are we even going the right way?
Oh, you're hitting the wrong buttons. Ooh, is that a butt warmer?
Wurtley, you have to slow down. Trust me, I have an idea.
Are you kidding me?
My name's Ilyan, and I'm one of your hosts, and the other host is here, and his name is Boix, and he is looking like he's... Wait, is he loading a gun? Shit!
I'm so fucking upsetty spaghetti. And you in particular. For putting me through this.
Yeah. And I have zero defense. Like you know, I have there's nothing I can say. There is nothing I can say to make this better. What movie did we watch today?
It's the new Fast movie, Fast X, about family. In Fast and the Furriest, Vin Diesel gets in a car and races other racers through the racetrack. About family. And then at the end, we find out that Vin Diesel was really the family all along.
It's all about family. That's right. It's Fast and Furriest. The 10th Fast and... Wait. Oh, that's not out for like a week. Oh,
yeah, we got an early review copy. Yeah.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay, that's why we were... Okay.
It was on Tubi.
For a minute there, I was worried that we watched the wrong film.
Yeah, nobody goes to Tubi, so they didn't know that it was... They released a review copy already, but we found it by wallowing in the filth of Tubi. You know your day's bad when you have to resort to going to Tubi.
When you boot up Tubi at 9 a.m., yeah.
You've already lost. You might as well just call it.
That's when you just start cracking open beers. You're like, all right, time for a morning beer, I guess. This is how today's going. It's a wreck.
We were watching this, and I'm like, this isn't Tubi content. This is Quibi content.
Yeah,
they put it on the wrong network.
Oh.
Someone make a meme out of my face.
Did anyone hear that? Here, can we go in the hallway? I want to say it again in front of people.
If I did drive an eco-friendly car, it would be a Tesla. The expensive one, not the peasant one.
You know your day's really going well when you load up Tubi to start at 9 a.m. and then realize, this is too good for Tubi.
It is.
Wait.
No, Tubi is too good for this content.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, when you're like, wait, this feels worse than Tubi.
And this is the same streaming network that has Tubi originals, which are the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of. A Tubi original movie.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, we saw worse original content just now. Let's get into Fast and Furriest.
In Fast and the Furriest, Jojo is a wheelchair-bound man who enters a horse race.
Mm-hmm. Across America, yes.
Across
Where
America.
They have to solve various riddles.
They have to solve the riddle of where Jesus' bones are buried, so they can use his magic bones to kill Raptor Dio.
Then they can chew on Jesus' bones because they're dogs.
Yep, and then they have to fight Funny Valentine at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, the big parrot that gets rocketed into space because he hit another car that was the nerd car that had a rocket on it, but then the rocket attached to him, and then it shot him to space. But the lead car couldn't win the race before he got back from space because he got trapped at a toll booth, but he couldn't pay for the toll because he'd thrown his last Dogecoin at some children and told them to fuck themselves.
It's true. He told them to go fuck themselves because their mom hates them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That happened.
These are all things that happen in this.
That happened in JoJo Part 7, Steel Ball Run.
Yeah.
What are we watching?
Part 7 of...
I'm trying to figure out... Yeah, so Fast and the Furious... it's not a parody of the Fast films, first of all. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. I think what it's closest to is The Amazing Race, but, like, not the movie. I'm talking about, like, the reality TV show.
You know what I immediately thought of when you said that?
Yeah.
I don't know if... there must be another movie called The Amazing... But I thought of Rat Race.
Rat Race is a different movie, which is based on The Amazing Race.
Yes. But I'm like, Rat Race...
That's the Mr.
Rat
Bean
Race...
movie.
I know. I'm like, this feels like fucking Rat Race, actually, is what I'm... Now that I've realized it.
And Rat Race... I know it's a Rat Race.
No,
I've watched that film. So
I've also seen Rat Race, yes.
Rat Race came out, unfortunately, like months after Shrek.
Yes, it came out unfortunately. It was very unfortunate that Rat Race came out. This is correct, yes.
But it also featured All-Star. So it lost its only its only thing going for it, which is the All-Star concert at the end to Shrek.
Oh my god. I forgot that was a thing in Rat Race.
Yeah, the finish line of Rat Race is a Smash Mouth concert of the All-Star song.
That is content that I didn't remember from Rat Race. Rat Race is mostly forgettable, to be fair.
It is, except for Mr. Bean's in it, I guess. So, yeah, this is The Amazing Race, not the movie, the reality show, Rat Race, with no comedy, and Steel Ball Run with no JoJo. And also Rick and Morty are there. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Oh.
They turned Rick into a duckling.
He's
duckling Rick.
They took fucking Back to the Future and then made it they reversed the joke, which is like that was always the whole thing, wasn't it? That was the Rick and Morty joke.
The joke is Rick and Morty is making
place.
fun of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future type like scientist and nerdy and like cool kid. I mean, in that one it's nerdy kid, but you know what I mean. Like scientist and kid, and it's making fun of that relationship, and then this reverse engineers it backwards somehow.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the old Fun of Mutations that Neil Cicerega did? Like,
no, I never saw the Animutations. No, I never saw the Animutations.
Okay. So you never saw like Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny?
Oh, I did see that. No, I saw that. Yeah. That's
an Animutation, isn't it? It's
no,
similar.
No, Animutations are different. He did different stuff with that, but sure.
I'm thinking
I have seen some of his old content.
I guess if you want Animutation specifically, you'd be thinking like the French erotic film, or very important flash animations, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Where they take like Swedish music and they try to make it English lyrics. Yes, with shitty chop out mouths that move up and down and call in mockery. And...
Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, like that side of things. Yes, that I see what you're getting at.
I think those did a better job of animating than this movie.
Oh, yeah, by a lot. Yeah, this has... Okay, if you're talking about... Yeah, when you say the old Animutation, this is Brody Quest levels of production quality.
Yes, but without the good music.
But without, without the good music, and also not as a joke.
No, this is 100% serious. There's no sarcasm here. No.
So what this is, as I said, it feels like the first film animated in paint. It's it is a bunch of, I'm pretty sure it's stock footage. You thought that it might not
It
be.
has to be,
I don't know.
yeah.
It could be, some of it could not be, but I don't know. It seems like what they did is they took stock footage of pets. So like just an animal, straight shot, green screen, clipped those out, and then put them over like matte paintings from MS Paint.
Okay, I was gonna say matte painting is giving it a lot of credit for what. They
No,
put
that
over.
that yeah, again, like they are vague shapes. It's the CG from Reboot, but worse.
I think Reboot might be better. Yeah,
That,
wait a
like I
minute.
said, but worse. It's lower poly than Reboot and less style and interesting stuff going on in it. And then they stretch the dogs and other pets for when they're talking. Like they basically give them the weird little wiggle that
It's
people
like
do
a
when
tween stretch of the animation. Yeah.
Yep. Or they'll like bob it up and down slightly.
On
when
a
it's
still
quote
image. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
When it's quote unquote talking, and then they will CG smear the mouths. So like basically, if you take a picture of an owl, for example, as a random example here, definitely not talking about any
principal.
specific. Yeah, like maybe it was a principal at the
Principal of
school.
the school or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you
named.
and then you took it in an owl and you called it a principal of a school, and then you would just stretch its neck every time it talked, and you would make it a mouth, which means that you would smear the beak every time that you wanted it to talk, so it would move like a mouth and not like a beak.
Because you didn't have footage of the owl opening its mouth. Yeah.
No, you don't. You
that
definitely
costs
don't have
more.
that. That would
Yeah.
cost money, and that would need you to do something with it. Yes. Instead, you can just pay like 10. You can probably get like an annual purchase of stock footage from like Adobe, and with that you'd probably get like a 30-day free trial, and then you just cancel it, so that then your production's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And it also helps if you're probably like some sort of crypto bro, and you're specifically really into Dogecoin, right?
Why
you don't
did
have
they
money.
flip fucking Doge coins in at people? I don't.
They
think
have
that
to be a
this-
crypto bro. They have
I
to
don't
be.
know. I think that that's not the case. I think what they did is they searched up dog and coin and just like Google image searched it and picked the first image they found. I don't think they have a fucking clue what crypto is.
I'm gonna Google search dog coin.
Dog
I
and
don't
coin.
know.
I bet that something like this comes up.
Okay, it's every fucking image. Yeah, you're.
It's
right.
yes. What they did is they did dog coin and they found the first image and they were like, "Oh, that's kind of funny. It's got a little doggy on it. Let's have that be the coin that we have in the movie. Let's just steal that asset."
But they call it a quarter. It's just a
Yes,
quarter.
because
they
they're
could just use a
idiots.
fucking quarter.
No, they can't because okay, but a quarter is probably harder to image search and actually put into this. There's probably a very shitty like 3D model of a Dogecoin somewhere that they could search up very, very quickly and pay very little money for. Whereas a well-animated quarter is probably harder to find. This is the level of quality that this film is going for.
This might be worse than the Crypto Island 3D. That
don't
fucking
even-
video. Oh, you don't want to know then. You
I
don't
know.
wanna
Okay,
know.
yeah, I don't,
You
I
wanna
don't know.
fucking
I don't want to know. This is. If you're asking me if this is going to be shittier than something, I'm going to say yes, except for a very few circumstances. I don't know. I'm really seriously considering this for like bottom of all things that we've ever watched. It's close.
You were saying it's below Food Fight. I think Animation quality
I
is
don't
below
know.
Food Fight, but I think Food
Oh
Fight's
my
more
god!
malicious.
Oh my god, that's just so.
Yeah, but Food Fight's much more malicious though, right?
But
Like,
you just repeat again. You boiks, being of sound mind, do believe that this is of lower animation quality than Food Fight.
but this movie didn't have a chocolate squirrel wanting to fuck like Little Debbie, right? Like, it's not as malicious, and it didn't have Nazis. There were no fucking Nazis.
It did have a newscaster who was sexually harassing his underling and then trying to fire her, and that was a very funny joke.
Oh, his like ex or whatever guinea pig. I don't even know what the dynamic there was. It was fucking weird.
I think that was just supposed to be that he was like the really gross newscaster who was hitting on her all the time, and she hates him. I think that's what that was.
Speaking of things this movie hates, I have a list.
There's a
Do you wanna
lot
hear
of
the list?
them. There's a lot of
All
them.
right.
That's why I'm like, I don't know what you're saying that Food Fight's more malicious than
Well,
this.
this movie hates, but it doesn't have like. It doesn't have the
doesn't have
capitalist
Nazis.
overtones.
That's
It doesn't
fair.
have Nazis. It doesn't have fascism.
It doesn't have literal brands in it. Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
it could be
I'll
worse.
give you
And the
that.
message of this movie isn't generic brands are bad and fascist. Right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll give you
like,
that. Yeah.
there has to
fair.
be a fucking line
Fine.
somewhere.
Fair. You're right. Yeah.
But things this movie hates. Tell me if I'm missing any. Women, electric cars, Australians, the audience, foreigners, ex-wives, boy bands, Irish people, children, lizards, nerds,
Yes.
African Americans,
Yes.
mechanics,
Yes.
environmentalists,
Correct. Yeah.
the elderly,
Yes. Yeah.
a school alumni,
Yep. Yeah.
and
yeah.
and more importantly, the
It's great that I know
Swedes.
what all of these are. Yeah. Australians. You forgot Australians. It also hates Australians.
I said Australians. Yeah,
Did you say Australians? Okay.
early. Yeah.
Can we also list, like, I know that you said foreigners, but can we just say Europeans?
Oh, Europeans who were vaguely Spanish and vaguely French.
Or vaguely German and vaguely Russian and vaguely Norwegian all at the same time.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Oh, one thing I forgot, this movie also hates parents.
Yes. Yeah, it hates parents. Oh, it hates schools and principals.
Schools in general, yeah. Not just the alumni, but also just school, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and principals, like I said. Like, it doesn't, like, it thinks they're awful.
Yeah, I don't know who this movie's for. I guess that's why there's 0 reviews on Internet Movie Database and Rotten Tomatoes.
We may be the first people to have ever watched this. This has got all the hallmarks of, like, money laundering tax scam that we just,
has to be.
managed to get.
Like, I'm lying. There are 3 reviews on IMDb, but they're absolutely paid for 5 out of 5 reviews. I've looked at them.
Wait,
they're like, this is... Yeah, they're hidden. You have to go searching for them, and you have to click some hidden thing to show them.
Oh, because, yeah, I'm not finding any on IMDb.
Yeah, it says they have 6, 3 with an actual review.
Huh.
But, like, it says shit like, this is the most epic cinematic masterpiece, and somebody gave it a 5 out of 5 saying this shit's all over The Irishman, which I don't know what that means, but sure.
I mean, they do literally have Australian kangaroos that are Irish that quit the race because they get free drinks at a bar.
Yeah.
So I think that might be a slight problem there.
My main question would be who funded them to make this thing? This horrible, awful thing. And it's not an Oliver Daly situation. We know who did this. And they kept making things. So, like, it's not a situation where this is just some unknown person. This is a director-writer team that makes very heterosexual, white-oriented Christmas movies. Like Hallmark-like films.
Well, the funny thing about that is that all of those came out after this. This was the jumping off point of their career rather than the end of it.
Well, if you saw this, you're like, wow, white people will love this team, right? They hate everyone. We should get them to make romantic comedies for Christmas.
We should make sure they do cishet Christmas comedies.
Yep. Nobody hates foreigners more than white women who watch Hallmark Christmas movies. Right? I mean, that's the audience. They got it. They nailed it in one. They
did, yes.
They got it right.
Yeah, no. Somebody saw this and realized, whoa, you guys are out of your element here. We've got a slam dunk genre for you. Jesus Christ. They're the Michael Jordan and like Scottie Pippen. This is the 80s Chicago Bulls of writing bad Christmas comedies for
racist
white people.
Christmas movies? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Oh, fuck.
This movie, the reason why we're not talking about this movie is impossible to talk about. And the reason why I say that is that... So there's a few reasons that make this really, really rough. One is that so much of what makes this terrible are those visuals. Like, this is just unwatchable. It is the ugliest fucking movie that you can think of, and I could never really do it justice for you. So talking about it is tough. The other thing is that the way this movie is laid out, there is about 5 minutes of plot, but it's also breakneck pace. So
nobody shuts up ever. Yes.
Nobody shuts up ever. And what that means is that it's all filler. And it's all, like, vignettes of jokes, like how I had said about how Irish kangaroos go into a bar and they're supposed to get a riddle for the race there, but the drinks are free as long as the race is on, so they all get drunk instead. And it's just that. Over and over. It's all
because Irish people
vignettes.
do nothing but drink at the bar. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense when you think about, oh god.
Like, they spend 10 minutes on a cop pulling over BTA, which is the BTS parody that they have of bunnies that are auto-tuned. And, like, there's 10 minutes of this where he just pulls them over and then starts fanboying about how much he loves them. And it just keeps cutting to them. And they're going, oh no, we'd like you to release us, sir. And he goes, no, not until you go to my house. And they're at his house and he goes, no, don't worry, I'm your #1 fan. Please stick this log between your legs. I'm gonna go get a sledgehammer.
Yeah, he breaks their legs. And then
I'm not even fucking joking, really.
He abducts BTS, breaks their legs, and then forces them to stay in his house so he can fanboy over them, yeah.
You know when he locks the door and says that they can't leave? Which is a part that I'm not joking about.
Correct, yes.
That's the last time that we see him or the bunnies in this movie.
Yeah, because they're dead. Yeah.
That's just the end. That's the end of that
They're fucking
line.
dead. Yeah,
but, like, they just spend 10 minutes doing shit like that. Like, it's just... It's all this breakneck pace of utter inane bullshit. All this fucking garbage. This unwatchable goddamn dreck over and over and over. And you've got to think all of this is done in, like, shitty MS Paint graphics with still images of dogs stretching mouths over it so that they talk. For an hour and a fucking 15 minutes.
The only way it would be worse than Food Fight is because it doesn't have the insanity level of Food Fight. It's
Yeah.
too uninteresting to be fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the big problem. Like, everything's a problem.
Yeah.
But if it was more fucking weird, like the cop abducting BTS and murdering them in cold blood.
Okay. I mean, like, this is the thing. I remembered that one, and I remembered the kangaroos.
But it's done so boringly.
No, I know, I get that. But what I'm saying is what I'm saying is those are done very boring, and those aren't good bits. Those aren't funny or interesting, or they shouldn't be done for like 8-year-olds or 6-year-olds or whatever this fucking movie is for. But those are the memorable ones, is my point. What I'm saying is I brought those ones up because I can't remember most of the bits. Like, it's every 30 seconds there's a new quote-unquote bit, and I can't remember 95% of them. These are the highlights of this movie.
Most of it is in like a Family Guy style, where it's like, hey, Lois, remember that time when I went to a BTS concert and shit my pants?
And then it just cuts to a dog sitting there in the crowd, and you hear all of this, woo! And then
he shits his pants. Yeah, and that's the joke.
Oh, no! And then it just cuts away into him in the car. And he goes, oh, I'm so embarrassed, and I remember when I shit my pants. Oh, no, I did it again! And then he crashes, and then they're never seen from the movie.
But there's no potty humor. That's the other weird thing, right?
Yeah.
They actually stayed away from potty humor, which, like, good for them, but...
We don't have to give anything to them. We don't have to give them anything, boys.
But, like, the jokes they do is, like, hey, remember when you went on a Lady and the Tramp, you know, date with the volleyball?
Oh, the fucking volleyball. Oh, my God. I forgot about that because that's in the first 5 minutes.
And then the dog's like, no, I didn't. And then it cuts to him being like, oh, wow, that'd be weird if we had to, like, slurp on a spaghetti noodle together and kiss. Ha 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 ha. And then
it's a volleyball with makeup.
And then the dog's like, only a fucking idiot would date a volleyball. And then it cuts to a bird who's dating a volleyball. And there's like, they just don't know what we have. We have volleyball sex every day. Like, what... Was that the joke? Why was that the joke?
Yes, that was the joke.
And it's like that type of joke, like every 20, 30 seconds. Out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Again, this is impossible to talk about because it's just that. It's just that ad nauseum for hours. We got to a point where... So there is a bit of a plot. They kind of get to it eventually, where there is a dog that is... Oh my God. So there's a dog that's racing, and he's the main racer of this universe. I don't know how to describe this. Yeah, Hunter. But like... Because I don't know how to describe it, because it just starts as them at the race, and everybody's just there and racing.
I guess he's like the 4-time champion of the Fast and the Furriest race, or the Furball Run.
Is it? Yeah, Furball Run.
Which I guess is a Cannonball Run joke, so that fits into the race movie joke thing that they're trying to do again.
Whatever. So he's some name in this racing world, which they don't set up because, like I said, they start in the race. There's even children that win the race that skipped school, but they start them in the race.
This movie starts running on that treadmill.
They're just in the race all the time. They got assets for cars and nothing else, and that's all they were gonna do. So anyway, this main dickhead who's winning all the stuff and is obviously a monster. He's being a jerk to everybody, and he's like really arrogant, and he has a dog that's his sidekick who he's abusing. It's just all the tropes. At a certain point, he has been like getting these kids into the race, and like he tried to have them come and join in so that they could disqualify his top rival, who's also a monster, because this movie hates everybody. And they think he's their friend, so when he does his very obvious villain turn to them, you're like, oh good, the movie's wrapping up. And you said to me at that point, you're like, well, like, that's okay. Good thing there's only a little bit left. Let's see how long there is.
Now I warn you, this
This
one
is
will
not
be
how
a lot
this is
harder than
going.
the first one. It will probably take most of the night to figure out.
I hate this
Clue
so much.
after clue, so listen close.
Don't worry,
Oh my God.
it's almost over. There's only
You run
god.
back to the
Oh
car.
my, wait, what?
I
No!
love
What?
the way you point
No,
out the
Boykes, it
obvious.
can't be that.
Yeah,
That was halfway. Boykes, that was like half. No, Boykes.
The old bridge.
I didn't think you were joking. I thought we were actually near the end.
You read the wrong side of the card.
Oh,
no, it didn't.
no. There was another 30 minutes. We were just barely over halfway. Like, we were at like 55% done when it did that villain turn. Because so much of it is just filled with shit. Like, this is what I mean. Like, that's the end act villain turn to them just winning the race. And it's halfway through the fucking movie.
It sure is.
Like, they don't... Who does that? It was the most monstrous thing I think has ever happened to us in one of these movies, because I was positive we were at the end, because that's an
it was
end
so
game
much.
thing. That was,
It was so much. And then the thing happened. You were like, well, it has to be done. That was so much.
There's so much, and then it finally goes to the plot, and it's at the end kind of twist of these types of movies, and then you showed me it's halfway.
Just to break your spirit.
And
yeah,
I
that's why
just
I did that.
died. Yes, yeah. Yeah. It worked. It worked.
You had
that was
hope.
when
I had to
That was
remove
when I
that.
checked out. Yeah.
After that scene, by the way, Hunter throws like jacks on the ground, which
yeah,
pop their tires,
caltrops kind of thing,
caltrops type of thing, which pops their tires, and they call a snail to fix their thing because mechanics are always so fucking slow, fucking goddamn worthless mechanics. And
you didn't write that down. They didn't hate mechanics. Right?
No, I wrote that down.
God damn it!
That's on the list.
I realized.
I had a very extensive list of things
your list
this movie
is pretty
hates.
extensive. That's fair. Yeah. I shouldn't disbelieve you.
What I'm getting to is that they fix the car, and our main character Woodsley, the beagle, who gives a fuck, the kid, who is trying to date a girl dog who's a dog that's a girl and a girl dog. You know, a dog girl.
A girl, yeah, dog girl.
Yeah, they're out of the race and they need to get back in the race, but the mechanic was slow. So how are they going to do it? And then Woodsley tells her the most important lesson of all, which is to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just get out there and drop your resume off.
You just gotta pull yourself up by your socks. A thing that us dogs are not
wearing.
Doing.
Yeah, so the way that you win the race and overcome obstacles is just to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you'll win. Yeah. What a... Wow. Fucking
Everything about this movie. So it's like Rick and Morty references.
Dogecoin.
Loosest
fucking...
way, Dogecoin.
Yeah, pull yourself up by your bootstrap. It's just all the fucking awful shit.
Irish people are drunks.
I hate women.
I hate women.
Yeah, all that
principal of the principal of the local school. So the kids say, "Oh, we skipped school to go to this race." This is in the first 30 seconds of the movie, and then they go, "Yeah, we should enter it." And they call the principal and they go, "I'm gonna be your mom. Little Jimmy's sick today. Bye." And then the principal's like, "Oh, I see. These kids are trying to skip class. Time for me to kill them." And then that's its thing for the next 2 fucking hours or whatever, just screeching every time that it comes on.
It's like an hour of this owl trying to murder these children. And Hunter actually does try to murder these children in cold blood.
Which is funny. Well, the principal does too. Like, the principal is trying to knock them off the road and murder them multiple times.
Well, they shouldn't be skipping class. That's playing hooky. Yeah. That's illegal. Probably. I don't know, is it?
Like, is that a...
You know what was good, though? Or... That cop that murdered that boy band was the good guy.
They all go on this race, and as they're... So they set it up as, oh, it's a big race day. Let's go on this big race. And then it just shows them racing, and there's people in, like, campers and boats and, like, parade floats and just whatever asset flips they could find.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like a wacky races, Cannonball Run, Rat Race. They're just doing that wacky themed
they have
cars.
The Rick and Morty couple in a DeLorean.
Yeah.
And then they drive down the road for a little while, and then they all stop and pull off in a bar so they can get the first riddle, like you do in
races,
car races.
So the riddles are weird. It doesn't really make sense.
No, they make. I don't know what you're talking about. They make perfect sense. Who doesn't have riddles in the middle of your car race?
They have riddle number 1, which is like an actual riddle. Riddle number 2, which is just everybody stops so that Hunter can pop their tires, I guess?
Yes.
And then riddle number 3 is a toll booth, which isn't a riddle. It's, do you have a quarter?
They literally just say, do you have a quarter? Did you bring change?
Yeah, that's change? The riddle.
You can't get through without change.
I remember the riddle of the Sphinx when they're like...
Hey, you got $5?
Hey, you got a quarter, buddy? I need a quarter.
Hey, I need to buy some beer down at the store. Can you?
That's the riddle.
I'm looking
of
for
the
some
Sphinx.
Colt 45.
That's the classic riddle. Yeah, the riddle was Edward 40 Hands, the Sphinx. The Sphinx's 2 fucking 40s taped to his hands. Hey, I got a quarter. I need more. I'm out. I can't buy my own 40s.
I need my Bud Light.
God damn it. But anyway, they get to the end. I don't even give a shit about what happened. They get to the end. Hunter runs the Winnebago off the bridge, which has Woodsley's girlfriend, who's a dog that's a girl, who's a girl dog in it. So Woodley has to back up and save the Winnebago rather than winning the race. Then Hunter wins the race, but then Hunter doesn't win the race because there was a toad on his car, and the toad was also in the race, and since the toad went first because he was in the front of the car, the toad won, and then Hunter didn't win. And then Hunter tries to fucking murder Woodsley by running him over with a car, but the car was a DeLorean, and it went back in time, and then he died to a T-Rex. Yay.
I just need, like, the biggest bong rip noise in the universe here.
No, if you were high, you would write something better than this. This is... I don't know.
Yeah, fair. It's something. It feels like it's written by 6-year-olds, except that it's too mean. Because it just hates everybody. Everybody wants to kill each other. Everybody's insulting each other all the time. It's all just... Oh, the Australians are drunks. The Australian Irish kangaroos are drunks. The, like, Spanish, French, foreign guy is a prick. But then his rival is Hunter, who's even worse and is trying to murder these children. The children are dickheads who lied to their parents so they could get into a dangerous race. Everybody's a monster and everybody's unlikable, and the movie doesn't even try to pretend like you're supposed to like any of these people. It wants you to hate them all.
Mm-hmm. It's clearly...
Why would anybody have written this?
It's the writing of a racist adult white man who hates everybody around him. Yes, I agree. That is who this is written for and from. For kids. It's for the children. Which means it's for the family. And it's all about family in the Fast series.
It's all about family in the Fast series. Are we
I don't know about this one. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Maybe we should We should tell Vin to maybe stop making these. He needs to get out. This one wasn't good. When this releases in theaters next week, y'all should skip. I'm telling you.
I'm thinking that we're gonna have to give this one a thumbs down.
2 thumbs down.
Ever since The Rock left, it just hasn't been the same. Now, I do want The Rock to voice Hunter in this.
No. Absolutely not. Oh man, you could maybe get Charlie Sheen.
we could probably get Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
I mean,
we didn't even mention the old guy that just keeps trying to order watermelon, but he doesn't want his melon on his pancakes because it gets syrupy. But the
he
pancakes.
Doesn't want them. What are you talking about? It's not pancakes. It's the Flappy Jacks. I want some melon and some Flappy Jacks. Don't put any syrup on my Flappy Jacks.
That's who I forgot they hate.
Syrup on my Flappy Jacks. It'll fall off my Flappy Jacks.
They hate fast food workers.
And my melon will be full of syrup. And nobody wants some syrup on their melon.
And the liver recipe? The recipe I wrote for liver? The liver
about
recipe.
Liver. You put it in for $4.50 because it's a recipe about liver. This is some double spacing ass writing is what this is. This is some stretching your time. That is a legit scene from this movie. Him just driving up and talking about Flappy Jacks and melon for 40 seconds.
Whatever money they laundered to make this, allegedly, it wasn't worth it.
Fuck that, we're not in Britain. They laundered some money for this film.
Oh, man. Yeah, a hell of a movie. Anyway, that's Fast and the Furriest, I guess.
Fuck you, Marco Dufemia and writer Keith Cooper.
What a pile of shit.
He also voiced the character in this, the writer did. But I also literally could not tell you who it was because their name's Hugo, and I know 2 names in this movie, and that is the 2 children main characters, and that was because it was in the synopsis, because they basically... Oh, and Hunter, right, the bad guy.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the names of anyone else because this
dumb.
felt like getting hit in the head with a bat over and over, and it's really, really fucking hard to remember anything about this. This is a concussion in audio and visual form.
All right, let's rate the dogs. The 2 kid dogs. I know Woodsley. What was the other kid's name? I don't remember.
I'm not rating any dog. Chuck, I think.
Chuck. Woodsley and Chuck are a clip art cutout, stock footage out of 10. That is my rating for those 2 dogs.
I refuse to slander any of the very cute stock photography that they used for this movie.
Hunter would do a murder to win a race and is thus a winner out of 10.
Okay, that he is a winner. I will rate Hunter as a winner. That's fair. I agree with that. One thing that we forgot to mention, just about like the shitty stock photography nature of this. As you were saying, so many of these, it's really hard to impress upon people how bad the visuals are, but this might help. They're out of focus. They're blurry. As in, they were either way too low resolution and they had to blow them up, or the stock photography itself was of like something else, and so the thing was kind of blurry in the foreground. So a lot of the scenes that they're CGIing, in the loosest possible sense, these dogs to talk, one dog is sharp and the other is like blurry. It's like you got a dog that's in 1440p next to a like 200p dog. and it just constantly switches back and forth which ones are blurry and which ones aren't, depending on the scene.
I can't find the budget for this, but it had to be at least $20.
At least, like I said, unless you get a free trial, that's about what you're going to be paying for a stock license for a month. So they might have managed to score a free trial, and I doubt it took them more than a month to make this.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad they're making heterosexual Christmas movies for white people now. Good for them. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to Rough Cuts. This was a pile of shit. I blame you and I blame Canada for this.
You are right on both counts. I apologize for everybody. This was the most tragic way to spend my Sunday morning possible. This is going to be a very short episode, and I don't care because I am done talking about this film. This thing isn't worth talking about. It's not worth looking at. It's not worth even... Don't even bother looking at our social media, which is at Rough Cuts Cast on Twitter and Rough Cuts Cast on co-host, where we put up things like clips from the movies because you wouldn't want to see them, and we don't want to post them. But we might, I guess, for this one.
Sure. Hey, you want to browse stock footage online and see if we can make a film?
No.
Fair.
I have standards.
Fair. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's fair.
I don't have friends. I got family.
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 Family?
Family. Family.
Your family. There's all kinds of family, Brian.
Disrespecting my whole family.
And now you found your family with these drift nuts.
Sinhan was family.
I'm so sorry that you ripped my family apart. Family?
Look at our family now.
I already lost my family once.
Family just got bigger. There's always room for family.
We're family.
Now, I know you guys are a family, so I'm offering you a chance right now to make that family whole again.
You want to make this family whole again?